We all know the feeling of scrolling social media and seeing our favorite influencers wearing these luxurious, sophisticated outfits, but oftentimes the styles and items that they're promoting are outside of the average person's budget. I'm here to tell you that you can have that luxurious and sophisticated type of aesthetic, and you really don't have to spend a lot of money to achieve it, if any money at all. So today I'll be sharing with you a handful of tips on how to look expensive or luxurious, or just more put together and polished while balling on a budget. Now, I do want to make a quick disclaimer that a majority of the time, I'm personally prioritizing my comfort above all else. So please don't think that myself or any other influencer that you see online is looking pristine like 24/7. It's just not realistic. It's okay to be a comfy, cozy girl whenever you want, of course, but if you are looking for some advice on what to do during those times where you want to elevate your style a little bit, this is what I recommend. Before we get into it, of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, give this video a thumbs up, and let me share with you guys these tips. So my first tip for looking expensive or looking luxurious while on a budget is making sure that your clothes are wrinkle-free. This is honestly one of the easiest things that you can do to make sure that you're looking put together. So you have a couple of options to get the wrinkles out of your clothes that are cheap and easy. You can buy a $30 steamer, one-time investment. You'll have it for life. I've had mine since college. It's been a very long time, and it is old reliable. I love it so much. Or sometimes if I'm feeling a little bit lazy, I'll throw the item into the dryer on the wrinkle release setting. Or you can also put it in the dryer with a damp washcloth, or I've thrown a couple ice cubes in there sometimes, and it'll create the steam to de-wrinkle your clothes. That's what's worked for me. It's obviously going to depend on your dryer. And the third way that I like to get wrinkles out of my clothes is actually for when I'm traveling, which is about 90% of the time. I'm always on the road, always on the go. I use this Downy wrinkle releaser spray. It is the best thing that I have on me when I travel. All you have to do is spray it on the item, wipe the wrinkles out essentially. You basically just press on them and it's done. The wrinkles are gone. Obviously, wrinkles are unavoidable when you travel, so I highly recommend it. It's also a good item to keep in your desk at work if you're wearing something that is particularly wrinkly and might get wrinkled throughout the day, or just to have it in your bag for the moments where maybe you forgot to steam your shirt or whatever the case may be. I love this spray so much, and I will link it down below for you guys. The next tip I have is to pay attention to fabrics when you are shopping. So when you are shopping, I recommend avoiding certain fabrics that can just lower the quality of your outfit. Polyester is the biggest one that I see people boycotting. It's something that I also actively try to avoid, not only because it looks low quality, but it's also a fabric that just traps smells and bacteria. It's just like not a great fabric. Another fabric to avoid is acrylic. It's just, in my opinion, itchy. It's not breathable. It's just not a good time. I'm definitely not suggesting that you need to go buy really nice brands or anything like that. Like, again, this video is for people who are on a budget. There are so many affordable clothing brands out there who do offer items that are made with fabrics other than polyester and acrylic. When you're shopping online, brands do oftentimes disclose the composition of the item, so make sure you're checking that as well. And if you see something that has a low percentage of polyester or acrylic in it, I don't think that it should be a complete no if you absolutely love the item. I just think that it's important to avoid those higher percentages of polyester, acrylic, and other fabrics like that, just to avoid a lower quality look. So some fabrics that work for me and my wardrobe and my body that I would recommend to you when you're looking for a little bit more of a luxurious fabric is silk, which Quince is the best place ever to get affordable silk items, and they're washable as well, so I recommend checking Quince out. I also love merino wool, I love linen, I love tencel, is that how you pronounce it? I'm not sure. And also cotton, of course. Like, cotton is the best fabric ever. Bold statement, but I really like just cotton. So for any of these fabrics, I'm always trying to look for a higher percentage in the fabric composition, and that just tells me that the item will be of a higher quality. My next tip to look expensive on a budget is to dress monochromatically. So this means something like an all black outfit, or it could mean balancing a handful of neutrals like some beige tones, things like that. But to be very clear, I am not saying that color doesn't make you look luxurious. I'm using black and beige as an example just because these are items that I'd imagine most people have in their wardrobe and most people are going to be able to come up with some type of seamless combination with them. But I'm not sure if most people have like an all green outfit or an all lavender outfit or something like that. Although they look amazing, I just don't know if the average person has stuff like that in their wardrobe. I know I sure don't. I do think that regardless of color or tone, a very matchy type of monochromatic look creates a really polished outfit. And at the end of the day, I'm always gonna recommend an all black outfit. It's something that we can all put together. It always looks clean and polished, and you can create some dimension in an all black outfit simply by adding some jewelry or a belt, things like that. My next tip is to tailor your clothes. Having well-fitting clothes is really one of the key ways to looking expensive or luxurious, because nothing screams luxurious more than a piece that looks like it was made specifically for you, which when you get something tailored, it pretty much is. Maybe you have a pair of trousers that are a touch too long, or maybe you have a skirt that needs the waist taken in. These subtle changes are really gonna make a pretty big difference in your wardrobe and in your style. So bringing some pieces to the tailor is a great way to get a semi-custom made product and really just take your outfit to the next level. Now, the cost of a tailor is definitely going to depend on where you live and what you need to get done. But I find that if it's just a small change on an item, it's relatively affordable for me, at least. It's totally gonna depend. But if you need something hemmed or you need the waist taken in, I find that it's not that much, at least again for my budget. But if you have an item that needs a handful of tweaks, or I've noticed that if an item is lined, they definitely charge more. That's up to your own judgment and what you feel is best for you and your wardrobe and your own budget. So I just want to make that disclaimer real quick, but if you do need a small change on something, it is definitely worth it. Going to the tailor is also a really great option if you're a thrift store shopper. So if you find something that almost fits you and you're willing to bring it to the tailor and you can commit to that, I highly, highly recommend going. I've done this so many times. And if you're not a thrift store shopper, but you want to be, check out my video up here about my best thrifting tips. Let's move on to my next tip about nails and makeup. So keeping your nails clean and shaped is definitely a great way to elevate your aesthetic. Just having filed nails looks clean and polished in my opinion. Plus, if you're not a nail polish person, a clear coat definitely goes a long way. And when it comes to makeup, the general consensus is that less is more. So this is where that clean girl aesthetic that everyone talks about really comes into play, or as most people call it, that no makeup look. This is actually how I do my makeup all the time. I haven't ever really ventured out into other makeup since I was like 18. So when I do my makeup, I just do concealer, I do blush, I do mascara, and then I will add a little bit of lip gloss sometimes. It takes me 5 minutes, which I think is probably the best part, and it achieves this more natural look that just works for me. Now, one thing that I don't think is necessary to achieve a luxurious or expensive look is having a certain type of hairstyle. We all have the same nails, we all have faces to put makeup on, but we all don't have the same hair, like at all. Hair is so subjective and it's different for everybody. So I see a lot of people saying like a slicked back bun is the best look for a luxurious aesthetic or whatever. But I find that to be really painting with a broad brush, because not everybody has hair that goes back into a slicked back bun the way they want it to. Or some people just don't look good in a slicked back bun, which is me. I look like a founding father, and that's why I don't do it. So when it comes to your hair, whatever is going to make you feel the most confident is going to make you look the most luxurious. So speaking of confidence, let's move on to my next tip, which talks a little bit about posture. I stand before you, or I sit before you, as someone who has been actively working on my posture for about 1.5 years, 2 years now. I saw a video of myself that someone took one time, and I was just like, oh my God, my posture is a nightmare. Like, it just looks awful. And I've worked in an office job my entire 20s, so I've very much been used to like hunching over a desk and in front of my computer, everything like that. So when I saw that video, I was like, I need to fix this. At least I need to work on it, right? Like, it's the effort that counts. So what does this have to do with looking expensive or looking luxurious? Well, it is a free way to look like you're confident. But for me, it's more than just exuding confidence, it's actually feeling it. So when I'm walking around, I have my shoulders back, my chin up, I just feel like a more confident person. Someone once told me that if you say anything with confidence, people will believe you. And I do think that this translates to our body language as well. So I hope you can see where standing up taller and straighter can create the illusion of a more upscale persona and upscale look. Plus, it's free, and this is something that is going to benefit you in the long run. My last tip for looking expensive on a budget is renting your clothes or buying used. So if you've watched any of my other videos, you know how obsessed I am with renting, especially from Nuuly. It's like my favorite place to rent clothes. I find that renting is a really great way to wear or even test a certain item or a brand that I don't have to fully commit to. I don't have to pay full price for it. Plus, with Nuuly, you do have the option to purchase the item at a discount. So this is great if you do fall in love with an item, you don't have to pay full price for it. The other rental platform that I see a lot of people recommending is Rent the Runway, which I personally haven't tried, but they have a lot of really cute items on there, so I'm sure I'll give it a try sometime in the future. And you can also buy some higher end items used. Now, I'm not saying that you need to go out and buy these like super high end luxurious items like Chanel or Gucci, unless you want to, but I'd imagine that even buying used isn't in the budget of a majority of people. There are so many mid-tier brands out there who have used items for sale on places like The RealReal or Mercari or ThredUp, or even your local thrift store that you can check out. So some of those mid-tier brands that you can look for when buying used and that I look for buying used are brands like Cezanne, like Reformation, Farm Rio, Ganni. These are all really high quality brands that are oftentimes out of the budget of an average person, and so buying them used is definitely a smarter choice. All right, you guys, that is the end of the video. I hope that you found these tips helpful. Do me a favor and leave a comment down below what your favorite tip was, or if you have a tip for myself or others on how to elevate your look and create a little bit more of a luxurious persona. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'm so appreciative of your support, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.